Hi, and welcome to A Couple of Average Joe show. I am Mike.
I am Joe.
And this is Compelled.
Okay, so this is the one that we wanted to talk about, which is misguided drug advice for COVID-19. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I'm going to. So your cousin sent a link to us in regards to a guy on a podcast talking about how his friend was informed that Ibuprofen is deadly and it can cause complications to coronavirus. Okay.
Yeah.
This is from sciencemag.org. Garrett Fitzgerald. This was published March 27, 2020. And this is exactly where this information comes from, which is this. The French health minister, Olivier Véran, has confused matters by claiming on Twitter that anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen or cortisone could aggravate the infection. That's where that information comes from. It comes from Olivier Véran. The guy that runs that podcast, some dude that sent him information that he says, my friend.
Mm-hmm. Buddy.
French health minister Olivier Véran got this from somebody, and that somebody was completely misinformed. Scientific evidence does not indicate the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, NSAID, consumption puts patients who otherwise might have mild or asymptomatic infection by severe acute respiratory syndrome, coronavirus 2, which is SARS-CoV-2. It's actually, which is the virus that causes COVID-19. At risk of more severe disease, people taking NSAIDs for other reasons should not stop doing so for fear of increasing their COVID-19 risk. NSAIDs work by suppressing prostaglandin synthesis 1 and 2, colloquially known as COX-1 and COX-2. The enzymes produce prostaglandins, lipids that can trigger pain and fever. COX-2 produces most of the PGs relevant to pain and inflammation. NSAIDs selective for inhibiting COX-2 include celecoxib and diclofenac. Ibuprofen is an NSAID that blocks both the COXs. Minister Véran advised people to take paracetamol or acetaminophen.
It's a double COX blocker.
It is. Instead to treat a fever, but this guidance only adds to the confusion given that acetaminophen is also an NSAID. We don't know with certainty whether NSAIDs could lead to more severe COVID-19 symptoms. For example, the infection of certain immune cells with a related coronavirus activates a pro-inflammatory response to combat the pathogen. However, PGD2 increases the expression. I need like regular fucking words. All right, this is better from factcheck.org. Many readers have written in to ask whether ibuprofen or other non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs can worsen COVID, the disease caused by the novel coronavirus. Other NSAIDs include over-the-counter painkillers such as Aleve, as well as prescription-only pills such as Celebrex, which is used to treat arthritis. Now, I don't know why when you get information from like the science thing, they have to go into all that. They could throw that at the end of the article and just give us the meat and tell us what these words are in terms that we can fucking talk about. We're not doctors.
I would assume it's so that, if they gave away what you're trying to find when you're reading it, right at the beginning, then you're less likely to see all the extra things that they
need to throw out the fucking terms and put that shit at the end. And for people that want to read this stuff, they need to make it legible for people that want to read this stuff. And then for the people that can fucking decipher the goddamn doctor speak, they put that at the end.
Layman's terms. I get it. I
don't have time to go through it and fucking, rewrite the whole goddamn thing in Mike speak.
Yeah, that's why the shit's called LSD and not, what it fucking means.
Yes, exactly. All right. So while there are some good reasons for certain patients to avoid NSAIDs, generally there is no evidence that ibuprofen, which is sold under the brand name Advil, or other similar drugs exacerbate the disease. Instead, the notion is simply a hypothesis that has not been tested. The hubbub over ibuprofen appears to have started with comments from French health minister Olivier Véran, who said in a tweet that taking anti-inflammatory drugs could be a factor in worsening the infection. He advised people with fevers to take Tylenol instead. He also suggested that people already taking anti-inflammatories should consult with their physicians. The Lancet Respiratory Medicine hypothesized that ibuprofen caused the virus to enter cells. As we'll explain, that's possible, but there's no evidence yet to suggest that's the case. There could be also positive effects of NSAIDs on the virus. Soon after, inaccurate messages sounding the alarm about ibuprofen flooded social media networks and messaging apps. One of the viral things many of our readers asked about claims a lab in Vienna found that the vast majority of people who died from COVID-19 had taken ibuprofen, and that a nurse at a Vancouver General Hospital said Advil makes the virus 10 times worse and kickstarts the virus into pneumonia. And that was the information that this guy on the podcast said was exactly those words. He said that my friend found that the vast majority of people who died from the COVID-19 virus had taken ibuprofen, and that they were told from a nurse at Vancouver General Hospital that Advil makes the virus 10 times worse. So this is the prime example of this misinformation being spread, of people not doing their fucking research. The message appears to be a modified version of a fake WhatsApp phone message circulating in Germany that also cited an institution in Vienna. The Medical University of Vienna called the messages fake news and told Politico that it had neither discussed the issue internally nor done any research on ibuprofen and COVID-19. This is why, like the Alex Jones thing, right? That guy just has a podcast and he throws this shit out there, thinking that, I'm doing good for the world. You're not.
Yeah, that guy is...
and that's why I didn't say anything to Sharon about it, because I just wanted, she posted it to us. There's a ton of people that are posting this shit.
In a way, it's good that people post this, because then, you know what? Hopefully that pushes some people to actually do some research and look up some shit. I know some people won't. Some people are just going to take that as, as gospel and shit, because, if it's on Facebook, it's got to be true, right?
Yep.
Or someone that you like or know posted it. Oh, it's got to be true, because it's a what do you call it? A reputable source or something like that. A trusted source. My Aunt Betty is a trusted source.
Right.
She never lied to me. But yeah, I think it's good. They, in a way, you look it up. Like, is that true? Maybe I should actually. Yeah, but
people don't waste their time looking it up. They just take it for what it is, or gospel.
I mean, that's how rumors work, right?
Oh, I got this from a guy that knows a guy, in fucking Vancouver or Vienna. Yeah. They're best friends, and he's obviously an authority on this shit.
Yeah.
The name-checked Vancouver hospital has also been targeted, with someone circulating a fake memo about the ibuprofen and COVID-19 bearing the hospital system's logo. The hospital system explains on its website that the memo was not an authentic memo, and told us in an email that they did not issue the message our readers asked about. After an initial news report that a World Health Organization spokeswoman endorsed the recommendation to avoid ibuprofen, the WHO clarified that it did not advise against the use of ibuprofen. The group said in a tweet that in its consultations with physicians treating COVID-19 patients, it has not heard of any negative effects of ibuprofen beyond its known side effects, and that it is not aware of published clinical or population-based data on this topic. Stop spreading false information. Still, some governments are advising against ibuprofen for COVID-19 patients or recommending other medicines.
Why?
I don't know. England's National Health Service, for instance, acknowledges that there is no strong evidence that ibuprofen can worsen COVID-19, but recommends acetaminophen for people treating COVID-19 until we have more information.
Because someone just fucking decided to post it and said a friend said this?
Yep.
That's dangerous.
It's absolutely dangerous.
Some people need ibuprofen. Like, for me, ibuprofen is the best thing for headache relief that I've taken, that I'm aware of. It works in ways that acetaminophen and aspirin don't work. So, and I'm on the low end of the spectrum when it comes to that shit. I mean, it's not life-threatening for me if I don't have it, but, it makes quality of life better for me at times. So, for what if there's people that really need it for inflammation or something, and that works the best for them. But all of a sudden, and fear and anxiety because it might, it might make the itis worse, then they're not going to take it. Now they're suffering more, and life might be way more difficult for them because of it. So I guess, quit watching just YouTube videos and even us. What I'm saying is, don't take full credence in YouTube videos and other things. Do your goddamn own research and then come to an educated decision, if you have any education at all.